Hey, Scott Schrader here with On3 and WeAreSC.com. And today USC had I think they called it the Baller Bash, and it was kind of a pool party that, first thing they did today is they had a scrimmage at the Coliseum, which we're told was actually really, really good. Um, I know a year ago, the word was that the offense was just kind of having their way with the defense during the spring. And this year it's kind of like 50-50. And so the defense is looking a lot better than last year. And they're a lot bigger and they're a lot faster. They're a lot more experienced. So obviously with the additions this offseason, the defense was definitely going to get better just because they were going to have better players. I think the other thing too is they have depth, but we'll be talking more about stuff leading up to the spring game, which will be April 15th at the Coliseum. That's a week from today on Saturday. Um, but today with the recruiting baller bash, the pool party, they did the scrimmage. I'm not sure if they did any photo shoots or anything like that. I haven't followed up with too many people yet because I wasn't even sure what time they're going to be done at USC today. But we've started to reach out to some of the guys that were there, and we'll just kind of briefly go down the list of guys that were out there. We're going to miss some, and there might even be one or so that didn't make it. It's impossible to know nowadays because it's unbelievable how quickly plans can change when you're dealing with the recruiting, because these kids are all trying to visit multiple schools, and it's challenging to get to the number of schools these guys want to get to. So um, anyway, Jordan Seaton was taking his first visit to USC. He's one of the guys, I don't know if he actually made it, but he was scheduled to visit today. He's from St. John College Prep in Washington, D.C. He's a four-star, top 50 prospect, interior offensive lineman. It sounded like his interest was fairly decent. Without ever being to Los Angeles or USC, it seemed like it was. I don't know, I can't say strong, but it was pretty serious, and it was serious enough to get him out to USC for this unofficial visit. So we'll follow up with him, hopefully get something from him. At the very least, I'm going to be in the Washington, D.C. area for the entire week, so I will do my best to go see him at St. John's. Ryan Pelham. Ryan Pelham has been on campus at USC as often as anybody in the last 5-6 weeks. I think today, being at the pool party, was like visit number 4 or 5 in maybe the last 4 or 5 weeks. His interest has really skyrocketed with USC since half a year ago. I felt like his interest was almost zero. USC will also get an official visit from Ryan at some point. I think he's I'm not sure. He doesn't know when he's taking him yet. So I'm sure they would like to get him at USC in June when they have the massive official visit weekend. I don't know the dates on that yet. Last year it was June 16th to the 19th, and USC had 25 guys that were on that visit, and they ended up signing 14. So Draylon Miller ended up showing up for a visit also. So this is his first visit to USC. He's told me that USC was going to be one of his official visits. And again, guys tell you stuff early in the recruiting process, and oftentimes they don't pan out. So, when it comes to this stuff, reporting on recruiting, we can only give you what's going on now, kind of a snapshot. It's just like predictions. Prediction is a snapshot. Sometimes you feel pretty strong about what you're hearing, so you make a prediction. Our networks love for us to make predictions, so oftentimes we're making them when we maybe particularly don't want to. But anyway, so we're gonna follow up the Draylon. This is a really talented player. We saw him at the Under Armour camp in Dallas, Texas, a few weeks ago. So Xavier Jordan, one of my favorite receivers in the country. It's like Ryan Pelham. He was at USC again. This was visit number 3 for him. He will also take an official visit to USC at some point. I believe in June it will happen. His interest is USC is his one of his top 2 schools. Man, if signing day were tomorrow, I would put a prediction in for USC. But signing day is not tomorrow, so I'm not going to. Jason Zondamela. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly. I haven't talked to him yet. But saying names properly is definitely important to me, but I might be saying it wrong. He is an interior offensive lineman from Clearwater Academy in Clearwater, Florida. So this is his first visit to USC as well. Florida State's kind of the heavy favorite for him. Um, so we'll see how that turns out. But we'll follow up with all these guys. So I'm not going to keep repeating myself that we're going to follow up with each individual guy. We're going to follow up with this whole group. Isaiah Garcia was back at USC for, I think this is his second visit. His first visit went really, really well. And I think USC, he's planning on taking an official visit to USC as well. Utah's leading for him in the on-3 recruiting prediction machine. Coy Beasley from Cincinnati, Ohio, LaSalle High School there. He's listed as an athlete. He's definitely a defensive back for USC. He's a top 100 prospect for on-3, and the visit went well enough where he's one of the guys that actually got back to us about the visit, and he said he will definitely be back and definitely be back for an official visit. He's definitely somebody that we'll be following up with probably multiple times between now and the end of the recruiting process is my guess. Obinna Onwuka is an edge from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, so we'll be on his campus next week. I believe this was his first visit. Nathaniel Palmer, running back from Decatur, Texas. This is his third visit to USC, and he will also be back for an official visit in June. He is a top 200 prospect for on-3. This is a kid that's being pursued by a lot of schools. USC's hit Texas heavily for running backs. Brian Jackson's also at USC today from McKinney, Texas. He's another 3-star running back, 6 foot 200. So he's a big back, and this is his at least second visit to USC, and he's also planning on taking an official visit to USC as well. Isaiah McMorris was offered by USC today. Bellevue West High School in Omaha, Nebraska. Receiver, 6 foot 170. Probably going to be hard to beat Nebraska, but USC did offer, and we'll see if he's planning on coming back. And Mike Williams, an offensive tackle, 6'5", 310 pounds from Baltimore, Maryland. Herbert Flowers High School. This is his first visit to USC. We wouldn't be surprised if he also came back for an official visit, but we will also get to see him in Baltimore next week at some point. So that's just kind of like what's going on right now. This week with recruiting. Next week is the USC spring game. We'll have lots of content leading up to that this week at wearesc.com. Join $29.99 for an entire year. I mean, good Lord, it's $1 right now for 4 months. And we're not just providing content and stories and opinions and all that. We have a really strong community of USC fans that make it very pleasant to be there and just an environment that people enjoy being in. There's going to be multiple visitors next week. It's going to be a large group of visitors, but right now, kind of headlining the visit list for USC next week is 5-star safety KJ Bolden from Buford, Georgia, Atlanta area. 4-star running back Taylor Tatum from Longview, Texas. Longview is about 3 hours east of Dallas. I might be off a little bit there on the 3 hours, probably closer to 2.5 hours. And Braylon Conley from Humble, Texas. He's a 4-star safety. And he's a guy too that he's planning on taking an official visit to USC. Again, this is stuff that was told to us early in the recruiting process. So when we follow up, we'll ask if he's still planning on taking official visit and what the dates are. I'm assuming after this visit and this pool party that we're probably going to have some visit dates that were set today. So we'll see what the latest is on that. And I want to touch on Boogie Ellis. There's a report. Mark Culkin actually was the first to report on our basketball WeAreSC Hoops board that Boogie Ellis could be potentially returning for another season, and turns out he's correct. And there was a report today about Boogie coming back, but we also got confirmation from another source that it is happening. And there will be some name, image, and likeness reasons for him coming back as well. So look for in the near future also a big announcement regarding name, image, and likeness at USC. I think USC fans are going to be really excited to know that the main collective that they're going to have, and this is not going to be the only one that's going to be announced in the future as well. There's going to be another one that's going to be announcing their launch, and so what's happening now is you're having name, image, and likeness deals for the women's basketball team and other sports at USC. The baseball team, I believe there's going to be a group of former USC baseball players that are getting together to help kind of fund a collective and get stuff going for the baseball players too. So and I mean, good Lord, what an amazing job Coach Stankiewicz has done with the baseball program. It's really, I look at it like it's mirroring the football program in a lot of ways. Coach came in and changed the culture. He's recruiting specific guys that are going to fit what he wants to accomplish. And it's really get out to Dado Field if you have any opportunity to do so. It's just really a great environment. It's really fun watching that team play. So we kind of got off topic there with baseball, but that's Boogie Ellis. That's actually a big deal, him coming back, because the way he was shooting, if he can kind of slide to the shooting guard position, wow, that's going to be a big deal for USC. And I'm just going to just touch on a few names here on some other upcoming dates. Again, these lists are updated all the time. You can go into our recruiting database at On3 and get these visits anytime you want. But we got Fox Schrader, offensive tackle from Washington, committed to the University of Oregon. He is going to be at USC May 12th through the 13th for an unofficial visit. June 16th, we already have Nathaniel Palmer is set for his official visit. There's a couple other guys that were saying they're pretty sure they're going to be taking their visit at that time. Taylor Tatum for sure is going to. We may have him. Yeah, we have him down on the 17th, along with Mike Matthews, a 5-star wide receiver from Atlanta, Georgia. He'll also be taking an official visit June 17th. So Jalen Harvey's the other one. He'll be taking his official on June 17th. So I'm anticipating, I don't know whether it's going to be a group the size that it was last year of 25, but we were told it is going to be a big weekend. They're going to be very creative. They're going to spend a lot of money. And it's going to be fun to see how it's going to be different. But, they'll likely go to Lincoln Riley's house again for day one and conclude at the Staples Center for breakfast like they did last year. So we'll see if that all pans out the way that they would like for it to. But anyway, that's just kind of a little update today to end Saturday. And just want to make sure that we wish you and everybody watching a happy Easter.